Okay, so today we're going to dive right into how we can protect the planet.
Right.
And so we're going to steer clear of doom and gloom, all
Yeah.
that stuff you hear all the time, just
Right.
practical stuff we can all actually do.
Exactly.
And the guide for today is the National Ocean Service website.
Mm.
It's a U.S. government website
Uh,
that lays out 10 easy choices
mm-hmm.
that anyone can make to make the Earth healthier.
I like it.
Maybe you're already pretty eco-conscious, but you're kind of lost in the sea of what can I actually do?
Yeah, for sure.
So hopefully we're going to give you that aha moment today.
Right.
So for example, did you know a single tree,
Mm-hmm.
like a full-grown tree,
Yeah.
can absorb a ton of CO2 over its lifetime?
Wow.
That's like driving an average car for a whole year.
Really? Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah,
When I think about it, that's just one tree.
yeah,
And there's so many out there.
yeah. I mean, so that's just like one example of how
Yeah.
just our individual actions can have like a ripple effect.
Yeah.
Totally.
So let's start with something you've probably heard a million times.
All right.
Reduce, reuse, recycle.
Okay, yeah, I'll admit sometimes those 3 Rs feel a little bit like a school mantra.
I know, right?
know?
It's like we always hear those words,
Yeah.
but we don't really.
What do they actually mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So this source digs into why they matter,
Okay.
especially when it comes to our oceans.
All right, so think about it.
Okay.
Everything we use
Yeah.
comes from nature.
Yeah.
So when we reduce our consumption, we're basically conserving those natural resources.
Exactly.
When we reuse things,
Yeah.
we're giving stuff a second life,
Right.
keeping it out of landfills.
For sure.
And when we recycle, we're turning trash into new materials.
Exactly.
But let's be real.
Okay.
Recycling plastic, isn't that kind of a myth?
Um,
Like, doesn't a lot of it still end up polluting the ocean?
that's a really good point.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, recycling infrastructure isn't perfect.
Yeah.
And not all plastics are created equal.
Yeah.
So the best approach really is to reduce plastic use in the first place.
Right.
But even when we do recycle, it's important to do it correctly.
Yeah.
To actually increase the chances of those materials being reused.
So it's all about being a mindful consumer
Exactly.
and making good choices, even with something as simple as throwing something away or, recycling it.
Yeah, and that brings us to another crucial point that the source highlights,
Go
the
ahead.
health of our oceans.
Right.
The website really emphasizes volunteering for cleanups,
Okay.
particularly in your local watershed.
Now, remind me what a watershed is again?
So basically, a watershed is an area of land where all the water drains to a common point,
Okay.
like a river, lake, or even the ocean. It's
Yeah.
all connected.
Yeah.
So even if you don't live super close to the coast,
Right.
the pollutants in your local waterways can actually eventually make their way to the ocean.
Whoa. So picking up trash in my local park could actually be helping marine life miles and miles away.
Exactly.
Wow. That's wild.
It really shows how interconnected our planet is.
It does.
And that's why education is so important. The more we understand about these connections,
Right.
the more we can actually make choices that protect the environment.
I love that. This whole deep dive is like a mini education in itself.
Totally.
All right, so speaking of making informed choices, the source dives into some everyday actions that can make a big difference.
Yeah.
They talk about conserving water
Mm-hmm.
and making sustainable seafood choices.
Yes.
Hold on.
Okay.
What exactly does sustainable seafood even mean?
So it means choosing seafood that's taught or harmed in a way that doesn't harm the ocean environment
Okay,
or deplete fish populations.
gotcha.
So it's about making sure that future generations
Right.
can enjoy the same bounty of the sea that we do.
Yeah.
There's actually a website called Fish Watch.
Fish Watch.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's www.fishwatch.gov.
Okay, I'm writing that down.
And it gives some really specific recommendations.
Awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
So besides seafood, what else can we do in our daily lives?
So think about how much plastic you encounter when you're shopping.
Okay. Yeah.
Simple things like bringing your own reusable bags
Right.
and choosing products with less packaging
Totally.
can make a huge difference.
And those energy-efficient light bulbs,
Yes,
those are a classic for a reason.
for sure.
Right.
They really are.
Yeah.
Not only do they save you money on your energy bill,
Right?
but they also reduce greenhouse gas emissions, which contribute to climate change.
Yeah.
Speaking of climate change, let's talk about trees.
Okay, you mentioned earlier how much carbon dioxide they can absorb.
Right.
But what else makes them so amazing?
So they do so much more than just absorb CO2.
Okay.
They give us oxygen.
Right.
They regulate the Earth's temperature. They
Wow.
prevent soil erosion.
Uh-huh.
They provide habitat for wildlife.
Yeah.
So many things.
It's crazy how much one tree can do.
It It really is.
Yeah.
And then, of course, there's the issue of harmful chemicals.
Right.
We can all make a difference by choosing non-toxic alternatives in our homes and workplaces.
Yeah.
These chemicals can end up in our water base,
Right.
polluting our drinking water and harming wildlife.
So we've covered a lot of ground here.
We have.
It seems like even the small changes can have a big impact.
Exactly.
If we're talking about the planet.
Right.
Um,
And the source ends with a simple but powerful call to action.
Okay.
Bike more,
okay,
drive less.
I can get behind that.
Right.
Trading car trips for bike rides.
Yeah.
Good for the environment.
Yeah.
Good for me.
Exactly. Reducing our reliance on cars has so many benefits. Like
Right.
it affects air quality,
Wow.
community well-being.
Yeah.
It's a win-win for everyone.
Totally. So what does all this mean for you, the listener?
Right.
It's a reminder that you have the power to make a difference.
Yes, you do.
Every action, no matter how small it may seem, adds up.
Absolutely.
We've given you 10 ideas to think about.
Mm-hmm.
Which one resonates with you the most?
Yeah.
How can you weave these ideas into your daily life?
Right.
Become part of the solution.
Yeah.
That's the question we want to leave you with today.
I like it.
If you want to dive deeper into any of this,
Yeah.
you can find all the details on the National Ocean Service website.
Exactly.
So until next time, keep exploring and remember your actions matter.
They do.